Hi Marilyn, my name is Daniel Janetos and I'm ready to be your next cooking expert. I grew up in Waterloo, Ontario. I'm 28 years old and I've been a professional chef for 8 years. Most people know me for fine dining and French restaurants, but I don't think that's what truly defines me. I have such a passion for food. I'm going to break you through and show you a very simple recipe and how to make easy flavors that is very straightforward. So let me take you through a couple of the ingredients we're going to use today. So a couple ingredients we've chosen today is one of my favorites, Dijon. It's just so beautiful. As one of the mustards, it has so much flavor, it just gives so much more. This is a red wine vinegar actually that I've created myself, but you can pick up red wine vinegar at the grocery store as well, no problem. The next ingredient we're going to use for the vinaigrette is extra virgin olive oil. Just the best, really good for you, it's healthy and it's delicious. As far as salt goes, I choose celery. It's extracted from the bottom of the water and it has a full nutrient content, so it's actually not so bad for you. What we're going to do, I'm going to share with you a few chef secrets, and one is roasting nuts. If you want to get an incredible length of flavor in the nuts, this is one way to do it. 8 to 9 minutes in the oven at 400 degrees and you've got roasted nuts, which are perfect. So the first thing we're going to do is grab a mortar and pestle. Nothing too fancy, just nice and simple. We're going to take some of our pecans, some of our hazelnuts, and some of our pine nuts, and we're just going to crush it. Give it a bit of a crush here, and as you can see, it's beautiful. Just roasted nuts, it's going to give such a nice flavor. So let's get to it. Vinaigrette time, let's get started. I'm going to start off with a bit of that red wine vinegar. So just a couple shakes. Now for a bit of the Dijon mustard. 1 nice tablespoon in there will be perfect. Just a nice pinch of salt here. And finish it off with that lovely extra virgin olive oil. Here comes the complicated part. We're going to put the lid back on and we're going to give it a shake. And that's it. Perfect vinaigrette every time. Just to make sure, we're going to give it a little taste. Perfect consistency. A nice punch to it. That's great. Come on over here, we're going to cut the radicchio. So radicchio, you have to make sure to take this little end off here. You don't want to serve that to anybody. And as far as it goes, I always quarter it and then just give it a little julienne here. That's just a fancy word for cutting it into strips. So that's all finished there. And just to prep this up as well, we've got some aged pecorino cheese. We're just going to give it a few cuts here. And we've got our pecorino finished up as well. So when we're ready to plate, we've got our pecorino and we've got our greens here. So coming over, we're going to learn how to poach an egg. Poaching an egg 101. Start on medium-high heat and always use free-range eggs. It's important to use high-quality ingredients. So what we're going to do here is just crack the egg into a bowl and get rid of the shell. Now you can see here the water is just coming to the boil. We're going to give it a quick spin and make the water a tornado, and then we're just going to toss the egg gently into the water. And you can see it spinning around there. It takes about 2–2.5 minutes depending on how poached you want your egg. So what we're going to do now is take it from medium-high heat. You can see the bubbles coming and just turn it down just to medium-low. We're going to let that sit for 2.5 minutes. We're going to grab our greens from the fridge. Another quick secret is always to keep a wet paper towel over your greens. It'll keep them nice and crisp and fresh so that you can see. Perfect. So again, we're just looking for a poached egg just until the protein sets on the outside. We can take a look here, and then so the yolk is still going to be runny because we're going to do a soft poached egg. So come on over here and we'll start plating. We can do this as a main course, so we're going to use a little bit of a deeper dish here. So we'll start off with the greens. We're going to take the greens and just put a couple spoonfuls here on the bottom of the plate. Take that nice vinaigrette, It's still perfectly emulsified, and I'll just put a little bit on the top here. And you can see how it's emulsified and it sticks right to the leaf, so every piece is going to have beautiful flavor. So now, just to add a little bit of that bitterness, we'll get in some of the radicchio, layer that on, add a touch more vinaigrette to it. Now our poached egg will be done perfectly. So we're going to take this poached egg out and just let it rest in the container here so it's still warm. Now for that cheese, look at the cheese on the salad. Cheese is going to add a whole lot of flavor here and not all that much extra fat. It's almost like cheating. And then our poached egg right on top. Now, because our poached egg has just been cooked in vinegar water, we're going to add a touch more of that salt, and there we have it. Poached egg on greens with a very simple vinaigrette. At last, putting the final touches on the salad. You can always leave one element or two just to put on the table, and it doesn't look so bad to have it in the mortar here. As a last finish, we've got a little bit of homemade bread. And you can always pick up a nice sourdough or a little ciabatta bun, but I've just decided to make a little simple bread for you here. And that can just go right on the side there. And a perfect pairing, late harvest Riesling. And that's it. Thanks very much for the opportunity, guys. I'm really looking forward to this. Cheers.